What's up, everybody? ArrgThePirate here, and today we're going to play another Guardian, Terra. Now, this god is amazing. She's crazy with CC, although I don't really understand about a few things. But hey, this is the first match with her. Let's give it a shot. Now, I'm going to go kind of based off the recommended items, although I'm going to switch out the mana pots for health pots, because my biggest issue is staying alive right now, and you know, just being able to stay in lane longer until I really figure out positioning and things like that. I prefer having those health pots, especially that chalice that gives you 3 of them. That will give me a ton of sustain, although, you know, if I do run out of mana, we'll have to deal with that. But hopefully I can, you know, really just use those abilities whenever I need to. First, let's go over her abilities. Now, Terra's passive create standing stones, and as long as these standing stones are on the battlefield, she is immune to knockups, and her basic attacks will slow enemies, dealing bonus attack damage. The bonus damage will trigger basic attack item effects, but not ability ones. So, you know, if you've got some items with basic attack effects, boom, you've got that bonus. Now, Terra can shatter these standing stones with abilities, and she gets an additional buff, or she retains the buff for 3 seconds after the stone is gone. Number 1 is Force of Nature. Terra dashes forward and causes damage to all enemies she hits. Now, she runs through people, so it doesn't stop, so that's absolutely amazing. Love the cleave abilities. They're amazing. And then she also can dash through standing stones, and if she does, she gets to charge another time within 3 seconds. Next up, we have Crushing Earth. Now, Crushing Earth, she raises 2 standing stones, and she can collapse them by reactivating the ability, and that stuns everybody that's hit inside those 2 standing stones for 1.5 seconds, but she can charge through them with her first ability, Force of Nature, and that makes the standing stones turn into AoE shrapnel that just does, you know, bonus damage to people. Next up, we have Monolith. Now, Monolith is just a type of buff. You place it and it gives you a heal, but you can shatter it with Force of Nature, and when you do, it applies a slow to all enemies. Monolith can be destroyed by the enemy team with 5 basic attacks. Lastly, we have a huge buff. It's called Terra's Blessing. Terra channels her strength to the entire world, buffing all of her allies for 10 seconds. While active, Terra and her allies gain increased movement speed, reduction in mana cost for abilities, and increased cooldown reduction. Terra also summons 4 stones around her, and each for her teammates. If any one of them take damage 4 times, the stones will activate and heal the god. That's awesome, guys. Like, that is a huge, just game changer. When you're getting into one of those big team fights, hit that buff and boom, you can heal your team, you get those standing stones up. Yeah, I love this chick. Guys, I am just such a huge fan of the Guardian role within Smite. You know, it feels so much stronger than the, you know, kind of those tankier heroes. You just feel like you have such an impact. But just like in Paragon, if you are building that full tank-type build, it does not feel near as strong. You know, you definitely need the support of your team. You can go a lot more damage with Guardians, and they do crank out quite a bit of damage, but, you know, I've always preferred playing a full support, and Terra, oh man, she's awesome. Now, me and my ADC, we've done a pretty good job of forcing this enemy team out. You know, I'm trying to keep them stunned. Maybe we can get some poke on them. But we went ahead and picked up their camps. We're going back for our camps. You know, we're working very well together. You know, he's on the ball. He's hitting his shots, which has been one of the hardest things for me to do with the ADC, you know, the hunter role within Smite. You know, the travel time of your shots is so much slower in Paragon. So leading your targets is absolutely huge with just your basic attacks. And, you know, it's just a learning curve, but he is on point with them. Now, we're going to go ahead and pick up these other buffs, you know, and get back to lane. Hopefully we can actually get a gank. You see, they're Medusa, you know, she took a couple of tower hits right there, and she is very, very low. If we can catch up to her, we should be able to take her out. My ADC, you know, he goes for that long gank, and, you know, I probably should have followed him. I instead of running the way I did, I could have ran that long way. I might have been able to get a stun off, but, you know, live and learn. And, you know, from here, we're just going to continue pushing this lane. Now, coming up, we have our first death. You know, I am out of my healing pots, and guys, this is where I was talking about. Like, I prefer having those heals over having that damage. We end up getting their caster fairly low, which I'm not sure if she's a guardian or not. I thought she was a mage, but we end up getting her low. Our ADC finishes them off, but, you know, their Thanatos shows up, and, man, he cranks out damage. We end up going down there, but that's quite all right. You know, I felt we had a decent impact. We've been pushing that lane. You know, me and my ADC end up going down, which feels bad, but hey, no problem at all. Now, once we spawn back in, I'm going to head to the lane, you know, kind of get those minion waves set and pushing in the right direction. You can see, you know, we're wanting the ADC to show up to get the farm. We don't necessarily need the farm, just like playing, you know, a support in Paragon. You want your ADC to get fed, and then we're actually going to head over and try to get a gank here. You know, I end up missing my stun. You know, I throw down that monolith, which I probably should have charged through it, but hey, no problem. We end up getting stunned by Medusa, and hey, you know, her ult's gone. She used her ult on us and was not able to just really crank out the damage. So, you know, hey, that's great. That's one less thing we have to worry about. Now, Medusa's ultimate, I believe, when she starts doing that green beam type thing, you can just avoid that. You just don't look at her and you won't get stunned. I believe that's right, but, you know, I'm terrible at not looking at her. So, their mid laner ends up actually rotating over, and we were able to take him out. You can see that teleport guy, man, he's tricky to deal with, but that stun, we ended up taking him out. Oh, my ADC's on point, guys. He's cranking out the damage with just that little support we're able to give him. We're really playing very well together. Now, we end up going and securing both the damage and the void buff again, and then we're going to gank our lane. And you can see Medusa's here. We end up just barely missing, but hey, let's go in. I end up throwing that monolith down, you know, trying to heal up. Our ADC, you know, he didn't quite follow up. I thought he was right behind me, but look at him cranking that damage out. He ends up going into his ult, and he's able to take that caster out. Oh, feels good. You know, we've been doing work, so, you know, he's getting more and more fed, and, you know, with that damage buff, it's making a world of difference. We end up getting a stun onto that caster, and we're able to take Medusa out as well. He gets a triple kill right there. Oh, feels great, man. You know, the stuns that we're able to provide are really helping. You know, you see, he would have definitely gone down right there if we weren't able to stun that. But, oh, man, you know, playing with the ADC that you know is working well with you, it just feels so good, guys. Now, I want to grab some wards, you know, so I'm kind of looking around, and I finally find out where they are. There is a ward Chalice, which I believe provides 2 wards and then refills every time you go back to base, but, you know, we didn't have quite enough for that, so I end up just picking up the single placement wards, and I'm going to go ahead and throw one down. You know, getting ganked, that's something that we definitely want to avoid. So, since I am, you know, I'm decently built, I feel comfortable buying a ward, and, you know, boom, there we go, throw it down. Now, one thing that's absolutely awesome about Smite is they have skins for pretty much everything, guys. There's skins for wards, there's skins for, you know, your recall, or just, there's skins for everything. And so, you can, you know, if you are into those cosmetics, there are just a lot of them within Smite. And I think the one that I have on is kind of like this little pony thing. So, now, we end up taking Medusa out under her tower, and guys, the more I play Smite, the more I see the towers, you know, they're just like in Paragon, you know, they're definitely not safe zones. Very, very rarely have I, you know, been able to tank a couple of people under tower that are pushing it. You know, I usually end up dying. Now, Kukulin, oh man, this guy is so strong. You know, I made a video over him yesterday. He's just on insane damage. But my ADC shows up. You know, we were trying to get those oracles, or whatever that, I believe those are the oracles. We were trying to pick them up. Unfortunately, he ends up grabbing them, but that's quite alright. Kukulin is just a beast, guys. He is insanely strong. Now we're gonna go try to help, you know, deal with that mage, but our Zeus is on point, ends up taking them out. You know, we want to hang out here in mid, though. You know, we do have our solo lane, or our duo lane tower down, so, you know, we don't have to worry about that quite as much. And Kukulin's here, you know, he ends up using that immune, but with my solo laner, with him showing up, we delete him. We show him being OP isn't all that it's cracked up to be. We end up trying to shove this mid lane. You know, I'd really like to get this under tower, but, you know, it's just not in the cards right now. We end up shoving some minions in there, but I'm going to back off. You know, the enemy showed up, you know, hey, don't force that situation. I'm going to try to head over and help in my ADC, see if I need to assist him in any kind of way. I have kind of seen that with a Guardian, once you kind of get out of that laning phase, you're not really bound to your lane. You're not even really bound to your ADC as much. You just need to go where you're needed. And sure enough, we head over here. You know, there's a huge team collapse. So, you know, heading over here was a right choice for us. Let's go ahead and back out. I end up burning my ultimate right there just in case, and, you know, hey, perfect. We end up getting out. Now, I'm just kind of following the lead of my ADC at this point. You know, I think he was kind of getting ready for a gank. Thanatos shows up, and so we need to, you know, try to take him out. And, hey, we end up taking him out before he could actually go into his ultimate. My ADC is very low. I don't know how he survived that, though. So we're going to back up, and I'm just going to kind of hang out with him, body block if I need to, and then I start heading back as soon as I know that he's safe and he's going to be able to make it. Now, once we back, I go ahead and throw on another protection item, and then I'm actually going to rotate to mid lane. You know, that's where I'm needed, so that's where I'm going to go. And we end up getting a great stun on a couple of those enemies, and, you know, Kukulin just used his ultimate, or his rage mode, so he's not going to have that for this fight. Maybe we can make something happen. Terra, the guy with the switch stance guy, he ends up actually going in on this caster, so we're going to try our best to finish her off, and sure enough, we get that kill. Unfortunately, he ends up going down, but that's quite alright. You know, we're just kind of hanging out. Now, the portal guy, man, he hurts, guys. You saw that damage. I need to get some magic protection up, but with Zeus showing up, you know, this fight kind of disperses. My ADC is chasing down the enemy's ADC, so, you know, I need to follow up on that. And the portal guy, you know, he disappears. But I'm going to go try to hang out with my ADC. You know, that's, I think, who needs the most attention right now. And Thanatos shows up. You know, see, everybody's kind of rotating like crazy. And Kukulin's here. We end up taking Kukulin out, guys. Oh, feels awesome. You know, that Thanatos, there's a Thanatos on both teams. And guys, they're so strong. You know, having that executability and yeah, I really don't know how to deal with him. Like, a fed one, I mean, he'll delete you. If you're low on health, there's nothing you can do. You can't even port back to base half the time. But, you know, he takes out Kukulin. Guys, Kukulin, he's so strong. He's so strong. But we end up getting that stun off under tower and take that mage out again. I don't know her name, but hey, we're doing work. Now, this mid lane is kind of a lost cause. We're not going to dive the tower to get these couple of kills. You know, we should just back off. I'm going to go ahead and try to get a stun since everybody's staying in. You know, maybe we can get a little more damage on people. We got some done, but hey, let's go ahead and back off. Maybe we can actually go pick up Gold Fury, something like that. You know, that would be a perfect time right now. You know, with the enemy having to deal with their lanes being pushed, you know, it would also be nice if someone went over to our solo lane, since our solo lane is being pushed right now. But, you know, forcing that mid lane fight, it's just not really worth it. Now, again, we're going to go ahead and head in onto this Gold Fury, you know, take her out. I back up a little bit, and that switches aggro. Again, guys, if you want to lose aggro, you need to leave that kind of little circle. and you can see that circle around the enemies. You leave that circle, that's how you lose aggro. It's not the closest person. Once an enemy is targeting you, they're going to stay targeting you until you back off. And, you know, just simply switch that aggro, head back to base, throw in a couple more items and our relic, and then we're going to get back in lane. Now from here, I'm going to head to our solo lane. You know, our solo lane is being shoved, and we just don't have a whole lot of rotation right now, but that's quite alright. I'm going to go in on this. Maybe we can make something happen. My ADC does show up. I'm going to throw down that healing thing, you know, hopefully heal him up. I burn my ultimate there, and now I'm just going to sit back and wait for that Thanatos to dive in. If he does, you know, we'll stun him, take him out. But he ended up backing off because our ADC ulted as well, so both of them were in the air, and, you know, hey, no problem. From here, you know, we've got some presence. You can see over in the enemy jungle. Zeus is able to take out Thanatos. We're going to follow that up, though. And sure enough, he gets a sweet double kill. You know, we get that stun on that mage. Absolutely awesome. But since I did see that enemy presence there, you know, I want to back up, get close to my ADC. And then from here, I'm actually going to head over since Kukulkan is going in on my team. You know, I need to be there. Our ADC, you know, he's continuing to push that lane. Hopefully he'll see, hey, you know, we're doing some work here. And sure enough, he does rotate over, and we're able to just crank out the damage on Kukulkan. Now, I don't think pushing into this tower is probably the best idea, but I go ahead and head in. You know, my team's there. I need to at least be there, but the enemy team shows up. And guys, we gotta get out. You know, this is gonna be bad for us. I'm gonna just split off. You know, maybe if we split up, one of us will survive, but it probably isn't gonna work. End up getting a stun on Thanatos. Nah, I'm just running as fast as I can. Hopefully, we can get out. You know, I use my teleport or my blink, and then I get the skull, and I know it's over, guys. I know it's over. Thanatos, he executes me. You know, we ended up trading 3 for 1 right there. We didn't get the tower. You know, that was just a bad play. But hey, you know, it's about having fun. And I gotta say, trying to escape Thanatos, my heart was beating, man. Once we spawn back in, we're actually going to head to the solo lane. Now, guys, one thing is, you know, once you get out of the laning phase, rotation is huge in Smite, but you cannot forget about your lane. And unfortunately, our solo laner has kind of just let his lane go, really. You really have to concentrate, or maybe not concentrate, but you have to pay attention to that lane. Now, we do head to mid, and we're able to do a little bit of work onto this mage. You know, I want to get her out. I like taking care of the damage dealers, and she's one of the weaker damage dealers, so, you know, getting her out soon, you know, as quickly as possible is a good play. You know, you will be able to take her out fairly easy, and then, you know, help with the other fight. Now, we kind of all end up getting split up there, and we're able to do some work on this Thanatos. You know, our Kukulkan is going in on our here, going in on the sword guy, and, you know, I'm gonna head over there, try to peel for him. Sure enough, you know, we back him off. Guys, I can't take Kukulkan, but I can keep him from killing my teammate, and that's exactly what we did there. You know, awesome. We head back to mid. You know, Zeus is here. We might be able to actually make something happen. If we get some team collapse, this would be perfect. You know, Zeus is getting pretty low, but we get that stun off, and saved his life. Guys, saving people's lives as a guardian, it feels awesome, you know. But, you know, hey, we are doing a little bit of work. Our ADC shows up, and our ADC is fed, guys. You know, he's been doing work this match, so hopefully we'll be able to just continue this huge progress we're having. We end up taking out the red buff, get him even more damage, and then their portal guy shows up. We get him stunned, and look at that damage. We just delete him. Kukulkan is here in mid, surrounded by 4 enemies, but you can see, guys, he's so strong. He is so strong. But the team ends up coming in staggered. We miss our stun just barely. The enemy team is coming in staggered, though, and You know, you really want to avoid that. That's true with any MOBA. Avoid coming in staggered. You know, I make that mistake a lot myself. You know, hey, I want to go help the team, but sometimes it is a lost cause. And right there, you know, it's the same kind of thing. You know, it was definitely a lost cause. Now, if Medusa gets in range, I'm going to hit her with this stun. I just barely missed. Feels bad. But hey, you know, we should probably get out of this situation. You know, the enemy team is spawning in a lot healthier than we are. I go ahead and pop that ultimate, and, you know, Cocolin's here, guys. Cocolin is so strong, but so is our ADC. Our ADC has been doing work, guys, and he's very, very fed. We end up falling through that portal. I'm going to play that portal, guys. I'm going to play him. Every time I've gone against him, he might do tons and tons of damage, but he's just super annoying. So I'm definitely going to play against him. Now, that fight really started to flip, and you could see it's time to get out. You know, us staying in, you know, that's just going to end up us dying. And again, you know, our Ty, or whatever his name is, he stayed in. You know, turn and run, guys. You know, we should have let that situation a lot sooner than we did. I'm going to try to stay under this tower and protect it as much as I can, but, you know, there's not just a ton that I'm going to be able to do. I throw up that thing just in case, you know, hey, I want to get a slow on. Our ADC shows up and just starts deleting people, guys. We bull rush right into the middle of that fight, just trying to be a distraction for our ADC. Look at him cranking out this damage. Oh, he ends up getting a triple kill, or a quad kill. Oh, holy moly, he's just doing work, guys. That's what an ADC should do. I don't know if I'll ever get to that point, but holy moly, he just came in and destroyed. Now, once we spawn back in, we're going to head to our solo lane. Again, guys, our solo lane's just being left alone. You know, it's just free to push, and it feels bad, man, but is what it is. You know, our Thanatos did DC, and, you know, that is unfortunate, but, you know, that's no problem. We end up actually going in on this mage, and guys, look at the damage from our ADC. He's killing her before I can get abilities off. Oh, he hurts right now, guys. And then from here, we're actually going to head towards the fire giant, but then we see, hey, there's a big presence in mid. We need to head over there. Our sword guy, you know, he's in full retreat, and, you know, our ADC ends up going after that. The enemy's ADC, Thanatos, is here, and we get a stun on him. Well, we're going to do work on Thanatos, guys. Oh, Thanatos is so strong, and, you know, he can get out of that CC. I'm just going to chase this guy down, though. I want him gone, and I got my blink. You know, hopefully we can stun him again. Yes, sure enough, we get another stun. I get a charge. You know, we're gonna catch up to him, hopefully. We're just chasing at this point. I want him gone. Now, he probably shouldn't have turned around at that point, you know, but hey, he turned around. We're able to wrap that kill up. Oh, it feels great. Thanatos is, he's my nemesis, guys. Yeah, he's so strong. Yeah, anytime there's an enemy Thanatos, they delete me. I need to figure out how to play that guy. But from here, I kind of get that wave set where, you know, my wave will push against it, no problem, and then I'm going to rotate to mid. Now, Zeus and my ADC are here in mid, and, you know, they're poking down this Phoenix. You know, I probably could just go in and tank it, but, you know, I don't know, I just haven't done that. You know, I feel awkward doing it. And then we're gonna back up, hopefully. You know, Zeus needs to get out. And let's go. Let's get out. Now, our ADC and me had a different idea of what we were gonna do here, I guess. And we need to leave. You know, there's a huge enemy presence. We need to get out. And, you know, staying in that just few seconds is just going to be a little bit too late. I'm not going to be able to save our ADC at this point, which is very unfortunate. But, you know, hopefully we can actually get out of this situation. Like I said, guys, you know, once you're down an objective, it's best just to leave. And you can see that Ty went in, staggered like that, and he ends up going down. You know, feels bad, man. Having a DC and then having that type of play, you know, that's just going to be hurtful. But I'm going to go ahead and back. I do have my blink in case someone shows up. I can't get out. But sure enough, we're able to back. Then I'm going to head to our duo lane and actually keep that from pushing into our Phoenix. And just play damage control while my team starts spawning in. Now I end up securing this solo lane, or the duo lane, and then I'm actually going to start rotating. You know, we kind of head to mid, see what's going on. I'm just kind of running around. I end up warding the fire giant, and then I'm going to head back towards my team, and I see there is an enemy presence. I'm going to go ahead and just start this fight. Let's go ahead and take out this portal guy. He's the big pain. You see, he gets that stun off. Oh, feels bad. But we need to disengage from this fight. And sure enough, you know, my team backs up. Kakoan is going in, though, and he made the mistake that we didn't. He stayed in a fight that, you know, he should have got out of, and we, you know, backed out of the fight that we should have got out of. And you could see the difference in those, you know, it was the same thing, just back and forth, you know. Definitely retreat over staying in. It will keep you alive, guys. And from here, with having 2 of them down, we should be able to make some pretty big progress. Now, this is the first match where I've played where we've just straight up shoved this lane and forced the win. You know, and it was actually pretty fun. You know, guys, my heart's going 1,000 miles an hour at this point. I'm like, oh, this is so dumb. But it ends up working out pretty decently. You can see the enemies are coming in. We're poking them down, and, you know, our Zeus ends up going down, which, you know, that's unfortunate. Thanatos is here. I'm doing everything I can to survive. The minion wave comes in. I'm actually just going to take out the minion wave while my team is staying there. And with our ADC cranking out the damage, he's actually able to end this match. Oh, this was a very, very fun match, guys. Every Guardian I seem to play, I like more and more. I'm having an absolute blast with them, and I highly recommend checking some of them out, guys. Well, if y'all did enjoy, show me some love. Leave me a comment. Think about subscribing. Join me on Smite, guys. I'd love to play with some of y'all, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.